Sextortion scams are becoming a serious problem in Faridabad. Criminals are using the internet to trap innocent people. They trick victims and then demand money. This new wave of cybercrime is causing fear among residents. Many people are worried about their online safety. The police are working hard to catch these criminals. However, the problem is widespread and complex. These scams are not just about money, they also cause deep emotional distress to those targeted. The fear of public shame often prevents victims from coming forward immediately, making the fight against these cybercriminals even more challenging for the authorities. This digital menace, often referred to as a cyber trap, preys on vulnerability. Scammers are clever and use various methods. They might use fake profiles on social media or dating apps. They build trust with their targets over time. Then they persuade victims to share private pictures or videos. Once they have this compromising material, the nightmare begins for the victim. The demand for money follows swiftly, coupled with threats of exposing the material online or to the victim's family and friends. This psychological manipulation is a key component of their success, leaving victims feeling helpless. The impact of these sextortion rackets is significant in Faridabad. People are losing large sums of money. Some victims have lost their life savings to these fraudsters. Beyond the financial loss, the mental trauma is immense. Victims often feel embarrassed, ashamed, and isolated. This makes it difficult for them to seek help from police or even their loved ones. The criminals count on this silence. They know that the stigma associated with such incidents can be a powerful tool to ensure compliance with their demands, creating a cycle of fear and extortion that can be hard to break. The rise of these scams highlights the dark side of our connected world. While technology offers many benefits, it also provides new avenues for criminals. Faridabad, like many other growing urban centers, is witnessing an increase in various forms of cybercrime. Sextortion is particularly insidious because it exploits personal trust and intimacy. The anonymity of the internet helps these criminals hide their tracks. Law enforcement agencies are constantly adapting their strategies to combat these evolving threats. Public awareness and caution are crucial first lines of defense against falling into such devastating cyber traps. One recent case in Faridabad shows how these criminals operate. On October 3, 2024, a man fell victim to a sophisticated sextortion plot. He received a WhatsApp video call. An unclad woman appeared on the screen. The scammers quickly took screenshots and recorded the call. This material became their weapon. 2 days later, the victim was contacted by individuals. These individuals falsely claimed to be officers from the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. This impersonation added a layer of authority and fear, making the victim more likely to comply with their demands. The fake CBI officers told the victim a fabricated story. They claimed the woman from the video call had attempted suicide. They also said she had lodged a complaint against him. To make their threats more believable, they showed the victim his own objectionable photos and videos. Then came the demand 30 Lakh rupees to make the legal trouble disappear. The terrified victim, fearing public exposure and legal repercussions, felt he had no choice. He ended up transferring 22.4 Lakh rupees. This large sum was moved through multiple transactions to various accounts, a common tactic to complicate tracing efforts. Another alarming scam recently busted in Faridabad involved the dating app Grindr. A gang created fake profiles on the app. They used these profiles to befriend unsuspecting men. After gaining their trust, they would lure the victims. Sometimes they were lured to isolated locations, other times they were taken to hotel rooms. Once the victims were in a vulnerable position, the gang members would capture intimate pictures. These pictures were then used for blackmail, with demands for significant sums of money to prevent their release or circulation among the victims' contacts. In some instances involving the Grindr scam, the criminals' tactics were even more aggressive. After luring a victim and capturing compromising images, other gang members would suddenly barge into the room. They would hold the victim at gunpoint and rob them of their valuables. One specific incident came to light when an NIT resident reported being extorted of 2.9 Lakh rupees. This particular victim was taken to a room on May 11, 2025, recorded, and threatened. He was forced to pay 20,000 rupees in cash, withdraw 1 Lakh rupees from an ATM, and then pay another 1.75 Lakh rupees via a credit card swipe at a petrol pump. The Faridabad police have been actively investigating these sextortion cases. Following the CBI impersonation scam from October 2024, a complaint was filed with the Cyber Police. A case was registered at the Cyber Police Station, Central. Recently, on May 21, 2025, two key arrests were made in this case. Safwan Khan, a 25-year-old final-year graduation student, was arrested for withdrawing extorted money from ATMs. Sabir, a 35-year-old undergraduate working at a construction material store, was identified as the mastermind. He oversaw the operations and managed the bank accounts used in the scam. These arrests were not the first in the CBI impersonation case. Earlier, 3 accomplices named Mohammed Kaif, Sahil, and Shahrukh had also been apprehended. Safwan Khan and Sabir, who hail from Firozapur Jirka in Nu, were taken into police custody for 5 days to facilitate further investigation and uncover the full extent of their network. In the Grindr app sextortion racket, arrests were made on May 19, 2025. The police apprehended Vishal Kumar, 22, Karan Singh, 19, and Puneet alias Pony, 23, from Gandhi Colony in Faridabad. These arrests demonstrate a determined effort by law enforcement. The investigation into the Grindr scam intensified after an NIT resident reported a significant extortion. Police officials, including DCP Nitesh Agarwal, NIT, and Inspector Sethi Malik, played crucial roles. The mobile numbers of the suspects were put under surveillance, which eventually led to their location and arrest. The arrested suspects were produced before a court and remanded in police custody for 4 days. However, the police are still searching for 2 other key members of this gang: Rakesh alias Beedi, believed to be the mastermind, and Jaibir alias Vicky Chandela, who remain at large. Despite these successes, the police face numerous challenges. Many victims of sextortion are hesitant to report the crime. They fear social stigma and embarrassment. This reluctance makes it harder for police to gather evidence and identify perpetrators. The Grindr gang, for instance, had been active for at least a year, targeting individuals not just in Faridabad but also in Delhi, Gurugram, Noida, and Ghaziabad. Furthermore, broader issues within the cybercrime investigation units sometimes surface, such as the recent suspension of 3 Faridabad cybercrime police personnel on May 6, 2025, for negligence in a separate 1.38 crore rupee stock market scam, highlighting the need for continuous improvement and vigilance. The sextortion scams in Faridabad are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger, more disturbing trend of rising cybercrime in the region. The Grindr gang, for example, primarily targeted businessmen. Reports indicate that at least 4 businessmen in Faridabad were robbed by this gang in the 10 days leading up to the arrests. This pattern of targeting specific demographics shows a calculated approach by these criminal networks. The reach of these gangs often extends across multiple cities, making investigations complex and requiring interstate police cooperation to effectively dismantle their operations. These sextortion activities are often interconnected with other forms of cyber fraud. Police investigations reveal that criminals involved in sextortion may also be engaged in creating fake websites, online impersonation, and other financial scams. For instance, Gurugram police recently busted a nationwide cyber fraud racket worth 44.4 crore rupees, which involved over 10,000 complaints related to various cyber deceptions, including sextortion. This indicates that many of these criminal enterprises are multifaceted, adapting their methods to exploit any vulnerability they can find in the digital domain, making them a persistent threat. The societal impact of these cyber traps is profound and multifaceted. Victims suffer not only financially, but also endure severe emotional and psychological trauma. The fear of public shaming and damage to their reputation can lead to anxiety, depression, and social withdrawal. The courage of victims who do come forward is commendable, as their reports are crucial for law enforcement to act. Grindr, the app used in one of the scams, has emphasized its commitment to user privacy and safety, providing safety guides and stating its cooperation with law enforcement agencies when incidents are reported. To combat this growing menace, public awareness and vigilance are paramount. It is crucial for individuals to be extremely cautious about who they interact with online. Avoid sharing personal or intimate information with strangers. Be wary of unsolicited video calls from unknown contacts. If you become a victim, remember that you are not alone, and it is not your fault. Report the incident to the cybercrime police immediately. Timely reporting can help prevent further harm and aid in apprehending the criminals. Staying informed about common scam tactics and practicing safe online behavior are the best defenses against these predatory cyber traps.